Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just bringing you this kind of colourful smoky eye because recently I just purchased the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia and honestly guys, it's as good as everyone says. So if you want to see how I got the look, then just keep watching. So to start off with, I'm just going to prime my skin. Of course you can't, skip primer, it makes such a huge difference. I'm just taking my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer to fill in all my pores and I'm just basically pressing that into the skin before we apply foundation for a super flawless base. And for foundation today, surprise surprise, I'm using my Armani Luminous Silk, but I do have to lighten it with the shade adjusting drops from the Body Shop. They're amazing. They don't change the formula of the foundation or anything, they just make sure that it is my colour. So I'm just going to dot that around my face first and then blend it in with a damp sponge. I'm just using the Real Techniques one because it was the only one that was clean right now, please don't judge me. But I'm just going to basically take my time and blend that into the skin. The more time you take, the more flawless it looks. It's honestly my favourite way of applying liquid foundation. It just looks so good. I am doing my brows on camera today and I'm just taking my Anastasia Brow Definer. I'm pretty sure this is in dark brown. And I'm just using this basically to kind of map out where I want my brows to go. I do kind of overdraw mine a little bit and then I'm just going to fill it in with this darker shade and this kind of middle shade from the Zoeva Brow Spectrum palette. I just like this to kind of deepen up the colour a little bit just because my hair is super dark and it's a lot darker than the brow definer colour that I have at the moment. Then I do like to take a little bit of concealer and just carve out the brows just to give a really nice defined look underneath. It also means that like if you mess up at all then it really doesn't matter because you can kind of just get rid of it with the concealer. And then I do also take my Anastasia clear brow gel and just run that through the brows as well just to make sure that the hairs are kept in place, they don't move around and all of that. Before I go in with any eyeshadow, I always like to prime my lids, and today I'm just using my Soft Ochre paint pot from MAC. I like to use my fingers just because I think it goes on a little bit smoother, and then I just set that with a kind of bone coloured shadow. Oh, look how pretty this palette is, guys. I'm literally so obsessed. I just don't know why I didn't get it earlier, but it's honestly so beautiful and blends like a dream. So as my transition shade, I'm just going to go in with Golden Ochre and just kind of run that really lightly through the crease with a huge fluffy brush. And then to deepen up a little bit more, I'm just taking the burnt orange shade as well and basically just placing it in the same place, making sure to kind of blend it out nicely. Excuse me. And then I'm going to take the shade Realgar and like a kind of denser fluffy brush. I'm just packing that kind of right into the crease as well. And then also taking the brown shade Cyprus Umber and a smaller blending brush. This is the one that comes in the palette, it's so good. And then for the lid, I'm just going to chuck on some of that red ochre colour. And this is kind of going to make the look really smoky, and I just love this colour and it literally blends like a dream. Oh my god, I can't even speak. It was that good, guys. And then I'm just going to quickly tightline my upper waterline. And also I'm just running this really close to the lash line. I just wanted it to be kind of a little bit structured before we put the lashes on. And obviously a quick coat of mascara just to kind of blend in with the falsies. Since we went for a smoky eye, I wanted some drama in my lashes. So I'm just taking my Lily lashes at Mykonos. I think these are my favourite lashes of all time, guys. They're just amazing. Look, it makes such a huge difference. Now I'm just going to highlight using my Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. I really love this one. I'm just not crazy about the applicator, but whatever. So I'm just going to put that in all the high points of my face, and then I decide to cream contour as well. It's kind of an Anastasia day today, I feel like, because I went in with my cream contour kit from her and the shade right there, and then I'm just going to map out where I want to contour and then blend it in with my damp sponge from Real Techniques. You just kind of have to take your time and really work the product in because it isn't kind of the creamiest product out there, I don't think, but once you work it in and like take your time with it, the finish is amazing, so I really do recommend it. And after I blended out the contour, I then go and blend out the highlights. It's just kind of been sitting there for now. And then after I do that, I quickly cream contour my nose as well, just using my little Evo brush from Iconic London. And then I do just go in and use the damp sponge as well, just to kind of blend it out and make it look more natural. And then of course we have to set the under eyes. We do not want to be a creasy mess, that is a nightmare. And then as per usual, no surprise guys, I'm using my RCMA no colour powder. It's just a super like finely milled powder. It's beautiful and it doesn't look cakey at all, even when I'm baking like right now. I'm just baking in all the areas that I get oily. You guys know this, I do this literally in every single tutorial. While I'm just baking for a little bit, I'm taking this super cute Too Faced big fluffy brush and my Soap & Glory Instant Retouch powder, and just setting the rest of my face. I want to set all the areas with cream contoured before I go in with the powder contour over the top. And after all that, I just use the same brush just to wipe away the bake because it's been sitting there long enough. And oh my god, it's such an Anastasia day today. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is the Anastasia powder contour set, and I'm taking the banana shade just to provide some extra coverage on the areas we highlighted. It also just ensures that the baking powder doesn't, you know, give any flashback in photography or anything like that. And then after this, I also take the darker contour shade and just really lightly, like I basically just build this up, just take a really light amount, and I'm using this Morphe kind of fluffy brush and just contouring the rest of my face. Then I'm just going to finish off the eyes. I'm just taking this really kind of small angled brush from Zoeva and some of the Cyprus Umber shade, and then blending it out with red ochre and a kind of fluffy pencil brush, and then using an even fluffier brush, I'm just taking the burnt orange transition shade and blending that underneath. And for a nice little pop in the inner corner, I'm just using the shimmery shade called Primavera. All we need now is a quick coat of mascara on the bottom lashes, and then the eyes are completely done. To highlight today, surprise surprise, I'm using Anastasia as well. I'm going to use Bubbly and Dripping in Gold from the Anastasia Glow Kit and just apply that onto the high points of my cheekbones. This is just such a pretty palette. I love mixing those two shades together. Also just hitting the Cupid's bow a bit on my chin. I also put some on my nose, and I do kind of drag it around in a C shape on the side of my temples as well. I don't know, I just really like the way that it looks. And then to blend the highlight and contour together, I'm just using my NARS Orgasm blush. It's my absolute favourite blush of all time. It's just so pretty. And then guys, it is time to set the face. I'm using my Urban Decay Chill setting spray, it's my absolute favourite. And then for lips, I'm using this soft matte lip cream, and I'm pretty sure this one's in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, it definitely is. I have two that are quite similar, but yeah, it's just such a nice shade. And these are like so comfortable. They do dry matte. They take a little longer to dry matte, but they're just so comfortable. And that is it for this look, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I loved filming it. And if you want to see any more from me, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Bye guys.